You are now tuned into another episode of Black Girls Den Podcast, brought to you by Alicia's Productions.
Welcome back, homegirls, to another episode of Black Girls Den Podcast. I'm your host, Alicia, and I'm so excited because we are doing another episode of Small Town Girls Bigger Dreams series, and I have a special guest with me, Rachel. Say hey. And we are going to be talking all things small town girls with bigger dreams. But first, let me read y'all her bio, okay? Rachel is a powerhouse realtor and community impact specialist with the Collective Realty Co., fearlessly serving Kentuckiana and helping clients build wealth through real estate. Love that. Licensed in both Kentucky and Indiana, she blends heart and hustle under her guiding motto, God, Goals, and Gratitude. Her commitment to excellence earned her the title of 2020 Rookie of the Year and recognition as one of 2024's top 20 people to know in real estate. Whether she's closing deals or building community, Rachel leads with faith, focus, and fierce determination. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, we need to figure out how to, build wealth with real estate. Love that. Yes. Have you heard the show Hard and Hustle Houston?
Yes, I have.
Oh, yeah, I said, maybe you have one with Louisville, child, with your motto. Bring it to Kentucky. I don't even know who even created that. But yes, welcome to the couch. I'm glad that you were able to make it.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. This series is all about turning, lemons into lemonade. So that is why it is our signature drink. We have some lemonade from Minute Maid. Okay, we need them to sponsor us. But cheers to the series. Boom.
Cheers.
So yes, get your lemonade or whatever else you're drinking. And we're just going to chat it up. I'm going to sip some. So, my first question I like to ask my guests is, what's one goal you have set out that you have already achieved?
Okay. I would say one goal I had when I first started back in 2020 is I wanted to get my Indiana license. So I was licensed in Kentucky first. I wanted to get my Indiana license. It was during COVID. So I had to find another way than going to an in-person school. So I did that class online. Took me a few months, and then I got my Indiana license. And then I really wanted to invest in real estate. So I started buying properties and created Rachel's Rest and Recovery Residence for traveling professionals that are coming to Louisville or Southern Indiana to care for our community. So I provide safe and affordable housing for them.
That's cool. So that's how you have the twofold. You do the real estate and then you have the investors.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really cool. So how long were you doing real estate before you added Indiana?
1 year. It was about a year and a couple months.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, there were people that. So Kentuckiana is so unique that we're right across the river. So it's not uncommon for somebody to live on one side and work on the other side. And so I had a lot of people looking in Southern Indiana. And rather than handing them over, I was like, okay, I can help you too. Let me just
get the money.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I decided to do that.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, were they similar? I guess like tests, or did you have to learn a whole bunch of stuff?
State specific. So, you have the national criteria, but then you have state specific criteria. So there were new things to learn. The contracts are different. Some of the rules and regulations are different. So,
okay, that's cool though. But 2 states, you was like, let me get this in.
Yeah, exactly. We're too close.
Yeah. So what's one goal you set out and didn't work out, or you haven't achieved it yet?
About this time last year, I started my first of 4 brokers classes. So I'm a realtor. I work under a principal broker, Moya Jackson. Shout out to Moya. And I thought, okay, I've been doing this for 5 years. Let me go ahead and get my broker's license. So I did that one class, passed that, but I decided to put it on hold and just focus on more immediate goals. For me, I'm not sure if becoming a broker next is where I need to be. I've liked honing in on my business and really preparing for the buyers and sellers that I'm helping, and maybe that broker license will come in later. But right now I'm a realtor and also a community impact specialist. So I help my brokerage reach out to the community and volunteer and just really get involved so we can do things outside of just real estate.
Okay, that's why you have that time.
Yes.
For people who might not know, what is a brokerage? Or a broker?
Yeah, well, you got your brokerage. So when you get your real estate license, you have to quote unquote hang your license somewhere and work under a principal broker. So a brokerage is just a company that handles real estate transactions, whether that's residential or commercial. So my brokerage is the Collective Realty Co. And that's just one of many brokerages.
Oh, that's not your brokerage.
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, that might be her.
No, I'm one of the realtors there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And so your brokerage is basically kind of like who you're under with when you sell your house.
Yeah, that's
like that.
What company I'm with.
Yes.
Yeah. So Moya Jackson's the principal broker, and then there are maybe 11 of us now. Actually, we just had another realtor come on. Some of us are licensed in just Kentucky Kentucky, but then some of us have both licenses. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's great to know. Yeah. Okay. So when you were younger, did you always dream of being an entrepreneur?
I had no idea what an entrepreneur was. When I was younger, it was, am I going to be an attorney or a teacher? And my goal really was to become a teacher. Okay. And I did that. I became a teacher. I taught kindergarten. I taught third grade. I taught fifth grade. I did that for a few years. It's a tough profession. My hat is off to all teachers and educators. But then I got into museum work and real estate.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask, is that how you kind of got into museums from teaching?
Yes, I had a girls group called Glow with one of my colleagues, and we would take them to museums and cultural centers, Muhammad Ali Center, and an opportunity came up about a year after we started that group at the Muhammad Ali Center. So I started there 8 years ago, and I run the museum store and the guest experience. Oh,
okay. So you started Glow. That was at the museum center, or no? That wasn't at the museum center. You started Glow with your job.
Yes, I started Glow when I was teaching. It was a group for fifth graders, fifth grade girls, and it was an empowerment group. Oh. So one of the things we did was take them out into the community, and we would take them to like the Muhammad Ali Center and other cultural centers.
It wasn't necessarily at the Muhammad.
Yes, it wasn't at the Muhammad Ali Center, but that was just one of the places and one of the connections we had. And so being connected, it was crazy because the principal of my school, her mom worked at the Ali Center, and her best friend worked at the Ali Center. So it was like having that connection, and I knew of opportunities that came up. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you still have your Glow, or no? Not anymore?
No, because I don't teach anymore, so I don't do anymore. But I do know there's another group called Glow that is based in the West End. So I do know there's a group.
Okay, that's really cool. And so then you got into museum. And so what made you get into real estate from the museum? How?
It's actually a crazy situation because you were talking about lemons into lemonade. I was living off Southern Parkway, renting an apartment with my daughter. Okay. It was Christmas time. This was back in, I think, 2019 or maybe 2018. I think it was the end of 2018. I went out to get some wrapping paper. My daughter was maybe 12 at the time. And before I could get back, my landlord was like, did somebody break in? I heard a noise. And somebody had broken into, my apartment while my daughter was there. Luckily, she was sleeping in my bed. They must have seen her and closed the door, but they ransacked her room, went out the window. They really didn't take anything. They just kind of like messed things up. Yes. So we never stayed there another night. Yes. Like we just could not do it. We went to live with my dad for a little bit. And I was talking with a friend. She was like, instead of renting, you should buy a house. And I'm like, yeah, I should buy a house. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to do it. So I met with a couple realtors, and I was like, okay, I'm not getting all the information I need about these down payment assistance programs because I'm going to need that. So I started doing the research myself. And I think 2 weeks later, I enrolled in real estate school. I'm like, I can do this. And I just did it. I don't know. I just was like, I can do this. And
you was gonna be a realtor before you even bought the house.
Yes, and I did. I became a realtor about 2 years before I bought my own house.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
If I can do it myself, I'm going to try to do it myself. So
yeah, that is crazy. Actually, I was thinking about becoming a realtor in 2022 before like all that happened, so that's so interesting that you're just like, I'm just going to run the classes and just boom. So this is a hot topic that I see, or a hot take that I see. So I'm just asking because you brought it up.
Okay.
How do people feel? Well, when you were selling houses and you were a realtor, did people ask you, did you buy a house yet?
I never got that question.
Oh, okay, really?
I never got that question, but I understand people are like, okay, you're giving me this advice. You're telling me it's a good strategy to build wealth, why haven't you done that? And it could be a number of reasons. Some people, just because you're in a profession doesn't mean that you have gotten your credit score together. Maybe you're working on that. You're obtaining knowledge. People have to work and have careers. They don't necessarily do that right at the beginning. But I think it does, after a while, I think it does take place where people are like, okay, let me go ahead and get involved in what I'm telling people to get involved in.
And then like the credibility, because I see that so many times, like even because I used to live in Atlanta, okay? Everybody a realtor out in Atlanta, but it's like, do you have a house though? Like, how you selling me a house and you don't have a house? So I've seen that a lot of people like, don't sell me the house and you don't have a house. So I was just wondering,
you know what
might have happened to you. I don't know.
I think that people have to do what works for them at the time, and so not everybody is ready at the time, or it's not. Maybe they don't want to stay here. People have different reasons for doing it. I think it's a good practice because not only do you get to make it your own, but you're building equity. The equity is the number one thing. When you pay rent, when I was paying rent, that just went to the landlord. Every time I pay my mortgage, it's like a little savings account. And I think when people understand that can give them some more incentive to at least look into it.
Yeah, I looked into it. And I looked right back out.
Okay.
Well, they be asking me questions. They try to ask about student loans, blah, blah, blah. Baby, I don't got no money to pay these student loans, so don't be asking me when I'm going to pay those student loans, okay? It's just so much. They want so much information. I'm like, dang, because I actually look at it as like an investment, and because I know that, because I was born in houses, so that's really all I know. I only knew apartments when I became grown, because I can't afford no house, right? But I was like, okay, this is a good investment. But it's like when you go in and you're like looking at, me personally, I don't like I feel like the system, they try to rush you too much. It's like, okay, because if I'm trying to look for a house and I'm looking for 6 months or something like that, you got to get it in this many times. And that's like, see, this is about that system. It's always the system that tries to set you up. But that's just me as a buyer as I'm looking at it. And I'm just like, they don't even give you no time to even, if you don't get it in 6 days, you got to do, like, hold up now, Uncle Sam, child. Like, let me look into it, So that's from me. And also, it does come. And then people are like fearful. People are fearful. They're like, if you don't got $5,000 saved up, then you should get a house. I'm like, woo, child, because everything is on you if something breaks in your house. So I feel like that's another thing too. It's like if this break, you gotta buy a washer, you gotta buy a dryer. It'd be so much to come with that.
You gotta be prepared. You definitely have to be prepared. And I think there can be a period in time where you're getting ready. You might not be ready right now, but you're preparing. So preparation is important, whether that's saving money, obtaining some more knowledge, finding out about down payment assistance, making sure when you go through the inspection process that you are getting working appliances and things like that. So there's a way to do it and take your time and really be informed.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode. So maybe we should do another episode about real estate. But speaking of that, because Keith Lee, I know everybody knows him, he had an inspection and he just found out that he had mold in his bath from his bathtub. So he had to get a whole nother bathtub. He talked about it on TikTok or Instagram. Yeah, there was like mold or something on there. And his wife just had a baby. She was pregnant and stuff like that. So they were just talking about all the things that happened. And so I feel like that is just kind of fearful in general. It's just like, dang, am I going to have enough money? Like if the furnace go out, if this go out or whatever. So stuff like that. And then the down payment. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Me personally, I feel like it's a lot of house. But then you have condos, you have apartments that are trying to be houses or whatever they're trying to be.
Yeah.
So and then they want you to bring washer and dryer. I'm like, well, I might as well buy a house if I'm going to bring my washer and dryer.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I was like, that's a whole other conversation. But I think it's very interesting in building wealth and like talking about it, just so people can be informed and so they can kind of know about it. So that's cool. You kind of basically was like, well, I'm just going to be a realtor from just like, oh, I might buy a house, and you're like, I'm gonna take classes. And then
I like to know the ins and outs of things. I like to know what I'm getting into, and everybody doesn't have to become a realtor so they can know, but I like to know the ins and outs. And so when I first became a realtor, I developed a buyer's guide to help keep me on track, but also keep the buyer on track to know, okay, this is the next step. Okay. And this is the next step. So, and so I like to probably, I'm going to say over explain, but it really helps my buyers to know what's coming.
Well, we love that. I actually had a meeting with one of our realtors out here. He's really, really great. His name is Raphael, but he took me. He was like, step to step. He went through this book. I was like, okay, baby, this is what I need, y'all. Yes. I'm like, baby, I don't know.
Yes, there's really a thin line between knowing and not knowing. It's just getting that information.
Yeah, it really is. So that's good. But yeah, we love that. So literally turning lemons into lemonade. And then you became a realtor, and now you got a house. So boom, we love that. Did you feel like watching any kind of shows? I have Living Single, but it could be any shows that was like in LA, Girlfriends Are New York. Did you feel like you had to move to a big city to chase your dreams?
No, I just follow the model of like doing what I can with what I have where I am. So I didn't feel like I needed to move anywhere. For me, it's just more so about like getting the knowledge and knowing what I'm doing. And then a show that really influenced me, this is going to sound like I'm an old soul, but I would rush home to watch Oprah.
Me
when
too.
I was in high school, girl, it came on at 4 o'clock.
Yes,
yes.
Well, I wasn't rushing home, but...
Okay. I think that's where I first learned that I could be in control of my destiny. And, affirmations are important, and my thoughts and my beliefs really can shape my life. And I was young, I didn't know that. I grew up in church. And I wasn't really hearing that. Yeah. So it was like a different perspective. And I think being influenced by that early on, and then being able to run into other women and Black women specifically that were like, yes, affirmations and energy, and really were teaching me that it could be a whole nother like metaphysical level that can help me get to where I wanted to be.
Yeah, well, let's dive into that. That's so funny that you said that about the Oprah thing. I never brought it up. Well, I don't even have Oprah on here or whatever. But I forgot one night. I would say that I was rushing home because I was in elementary school. Yeah. So I was just walking home, okay? But my grandma watched it, so I watched Oprah with my grandma like every day. I do remember that, like just coming home, and she didn't even have cable, so we were just watching Oprah. But I was like, that actually was like, a Black woman on TV. Like I could be a talk show host. That's really why I wanted to be a talk show host, because I was watching Oprah. Granted, I'm not a talk show host, but and doing all that. But I think that's important too. You were talking about the church and stuff like that. And I did episodes about church. I was like, you might need to come back. But I feel like the difference in that is like the church shows you a different way of living, kind of, and it kind of, you kind of learn like values and respect and everything like that, right? But they don't really show you how to, dream chase, versus you're getting from media and TV, like you're seeing women on, it's like, I want to be like this, I want to be like that. Yeah. And so I think that is kind of interesting, that concept of like, I see this on TV, but I hear this in church. And it's like, how can I go chase my dreams, but then also live like, so I just feel like it's kind of like, I don't want to say like a middle ground, but it's kind of like seeing like two different views and kind of, what you want to do and what you want to see, because you didn't see nobody at like Oprah at your church or something like that. Well, not everybody, I don't know if you did, but yeah. So I think that's really interesting. It doesn't have to be a TV show, but to like just watch that and to see somebody like living and chasing their dreams. And she's from like a small town in Tennessee.
Yes.
And she went to TSU.
Yeah.
And so just seeing that is like, oh, that is so cool. How did we get that? But I feel like sometimes in church, like I feel like if you can sing, you kind of like get pushed up. Like if you can sing, or if you can do drums, but it's like, what about the there? And so, but I feel like sometimes it lacks the other things that like children's talents are, because if you can sing, you're gonna be in the church choir, you can play whatever, but it's kind of like, what if people are good speakers, or like what if people are good dancers, or like whatever your talent is, I don't really know, but it's just like I don't feel like they kind of, I don't want to say there's like some churches may not, they don't really kind of pour into children's dreams like art and stuff like that. They're like, like you might not get paid to be an artist or something like that, like, so I think that's kind of just interesting how we see things and then our lived experiences and how they kind of like mesh together. That's the word. Mesh together. So that's what I thought that was kind of cool that you said that. Within there. So you said that you didn't feel like you had to move to a new city or a bigger city. What made you stay, I guess, in Louisville? Are you from here?
I'm originally from Sarasota, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And then I lived in Indianapolis for a while. But I moved to Louisville when I was 15. I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh, okay.
Cried my butt off because I didn't think anybody wore shoes here. But I was back in 97. But So yeah, I moved here, and I think I like to get comfortable and just feeling like this is home. I've thought about moving, and I might do that, but for me right now, Kentuckiana is home. It's affordable, and I can go venture off other places. I love to travel, so I do go and travel quite often. But I like coming back here to a slower pace sometimes.
Okay, you like the slower pace of living.
I like to be home. I know.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I recently went to DC this summer, and I was like, okay, we could live here. Like, I really love DC, and I love Chicago. I love Atlanta. I was just in Atlanta. I love bigger cities, but this is home for now.
Yeah. Okay, then. So you just feel like you like the trade-off. Like, you like to go visit. You like slower pace, so it's good for what you got now.
Yeah, and I've been here for a while. Yeah.
Makes sense.
People are coming here. There are opportunities.
They are coming here.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm just playing. How does it feel to be supported or not when it comes to friends or family?
Fortunately, I get a lot of support from my friends and my family and people that I don't know. I've never had a problem with people supporting me or telling me that I'm doing a great job. My parents are a huge support. My mom actually was a real estate agent. She was a realtor when we were younger. Before she even had me. I'm the second oldest, and so she's always been able to encourage me and tell me to like chase my dreams. My dad is in sales, always been a hard worker. My siblings, they're all successful, so we I think it's a trade-off. Like, we support each other in whatever endeavors we have. And if somebody doesn't support me, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Is your family all entrepreneurs in a sense, kind of? Like your parents and like your siblings, I guess, like me.
I wouldn't say necessarily my parents, but my siblings are. We all have our 9 to 5s, but my brother had a shower cap for people with locks. My other brother has a lawn care business and does private driving. Also invests in real estate. My younger sister's in human resources, but she also invests in real estate and runs a midterm rental as well. So we all kind of dibble and dabble. We're being secure and steady. But I think there are ways to make money, and it's a way to be creative. And, get into other things and invest in yourself other than 9 to 5.
Yeah, I love that that you said that. But I was asking, like, because I was like, well, they could be more supportive, or like your family be more supportive if they're kind of in the same situation. Like, they understand that like entrepreneurship is hard and stuff like that. But also, it sounds like they understand that you can have 9 to 5 and you can also have another income, like being able to do that. I didn't know if your family was here, like your parents was here, because you said you was from Florida. But I was going to say, kind of like, since they are very supportive, like friends, but I feel like kind of maybe yours is kind of hard because you sell real estate. So I feel like, people looking for houses or whatever, like, it's easier than maybe somebody that's trying to just like sell, I don't know, like sell cups or something. So I was trying to figure out that, but like, even like your friends, like, I don't know if they share your posts or like, do they tell you about different things, or I don't know how it looks to support realtors. I guess kind of what I'm saying. So,
referrals are the best way. Yeah, I have a really good friend. Her name's Tiara. She hasn't bought with me yet, but her best friend Tiara, she sent her to me a few years ago, and I make sure that I invite her to all of our client appreciation events, friends and family events, because I appreciate that. People seeing that I'm doing a great job and then trusting me with their friends and family. So I think that's the number one way. Or sharing a post, It doesn't happen all the time, but whenever it does, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really good. I love that.
I'm going to support myself. I know that.
Period. Okay, I love that. I feel like sometimes, like, even being in small towns, like, it's kind of hard. And because when you have these dreams or whatever, like, people could be like, oh, don't do this or don't do that. Or it's like you want to post and you want to share your stuff, but sometimes you don't get that support within your thing. So it's like you have to kind of go out, and I feel like sometimes that can be discouraging when you don't get support in what you're doing. So I like to ask that question to people, but a lot of people I've been asking, they've been saying they do get support, so that's actually pretty good. So
I mean, I try not to get caught up in this. Like, it's very hard with social media. It's like, you got to find the algorithm, you got to post at the right time, and you can get bogged down by that and start feeling discouraged, and then those negative thoughts creep in. I think it matters to manifest what you want, to just think positively. And if somebody's not supporting you, I don't know. It's just, there's somebody else that will, you know, just feeling like everything's going to be good or work out just how it's supposed to. Either way.
I love that. Like, can't even think about they're not supporting you because somebody else is supporting you.
Yeah.
I love that. Who plays the biggest role in your success?
I would say both of my parents. My mom, because she's had the experience. I feel like I'm carrying the legacy forward for her. You know, she had 6 children, married, and really took on that role as a stay-at-home mom. Somebody was nurturing her kids. But she has that experience too. So I feel like she's always supporting me. She'll share and promote me any way she can. And then my dad, hard worker and someone that just really, you know, appreciates the hard work that I'm doing. So I definitely get a lot of support from my parents. I'm gonna say my broker, Moya, she is very supportive. She's always trying to find ways to help not only myself, but anybody in the brokerage be successful and show up in their business. You know, ideas that we haven't thought of. You know, she's a broker. She has that experience and always looking for outside ways to help us, like, get structured and uniformed and know what we're going to do next.
Okay, that's really good. I like that. Do you feel like you want you were talking about kind of like moving the legacy on, like, because your mom's a real estate agent, like, do you feel like you want your daughter to be a real estate agent too, or not really?
I thought at one time, and who knows, she's still young. She's still very young. So I'm always telling her, like, you can help me sometimes she helps me with my rentals, but I want her to find her own path, and I don't have to push her to, like, be an entrepreneur. If she was, that would be great. I do see some people that, like, their kids are realtors and they have a family business. So hopefully one day she'll be supportive. I'm like, you can be a transaction coordinator, you don't have to be a realtor, but being a realtor is hard. And so, you know, even trying to recruit my little sister sometimes, she's like, you got it. I'll do property management. I'll do something else. They're not coming on board just yet. So whatever my daughter wants to do, but if they would, that'd be great.
Yeah, I was wondering, because some people do want to pass it down, some people don't. But you know, when we see things on, you know, social media, it was like, I want you to, you know, I want my kids to, but it's like, what if your kids don't want to do that, you know? So I like that to be like, I could show you, you could say yeah, you could say nay, and some of the kids are going to want to do it, some of your kids are not going to do it. So yeah, that's why I was just asking that. What are some things you wish you knew before you started? Maybe before you're a realtor.
Okay. Probably that it's good to set boundaries. You know, my first year, I was running all over the place, honey. People weren't qualified, didn't have no pre-approval letter. And I think it's important to, like, slow down, to be informed, to educate my clients and know, like, what the next step is. I think I was so happy to have a client that I was like, forget a pre-approval, forget if you're qualified. You're telling me you want a realtor and you're ready to buy a $400,000 house, let's go. Let's start looking. So just being able to slow down and know that I have a process and a system in place that keeps everybody happy.
And that's why you created that buyer's guide.
Yes, that's why I created a buyer's guide. That's why I give my clients a timeline and I set expectations. Really, that's important. People will be like, you're a realtor, come on, you want to look at houses. Like, I do want to look at houses, but also...
And that's all I want to do. I just want to look at some houses. I just want to go to some open houses.
Yes, that's fun. I think that's the perfect place to do that. Just to look and see what's out there.
Even the pre-approval, right? Because that's where I really got bugged out. Not to talk too much about, but they're like, like, how much do you want to spend? I don't know. Whatever I get approved for, right? And it's like, you got to get approved for this. And it's like, well, what do you know? I don't know what I'm looking for. So I said, let me take a step back. Let me just go to a couple upper houses. Let me just see. Like, I low-key want a condo, but I'm just like, let me see what the condos look like, because I do not want to pay for another bill of grass. I don't want to cut it, and I don't want to pay for it. So, but even that is just like, to the people, they're so excited to buy a house, but it's just like, child, you don't even know what you want in your house. Like, what do you want? 2 bedrooms, 1 bed? And so I feel like it was just like me, like, take a step back, like, how you say, like, let me just educate myself. Let me see how much it would be if I got this pre-approval loan. Like, how much I get for $200,000, how much I get for $300,000. So I definitely understand. That's a lot. Like, first step is first.
There are cool ways you can do that too. It's like, how much am I qualified for, but let's see. Maybe I want to go with how much I can afford a month. And then do it that way. There are a few different ways.
Oh yes, because then it was like, if you get a loan, then you got to pay back. I'm like, I got to pay the loan back, the mortgage back, this back, child.
Insurance, yeah.
And I said, you know what? I'm gonna just let it be.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that is great. I think that's actually one thing that is kind of missing. Everybody is on social media, whatever. It's like the education about stuff. They just like, oh, like even when start a business, like, oh, you can start a business, like get your LLC. Well, child, how much does an LLC cost? Like,
what are the steps for it? Yeah,
you have to pay for these things. You just can't go out there and you just can't be a realtor. You got to take a class. You got to pass the exam. Like, there's steps to everything. And sometimes I feel like they're just like, oh, go be an entrepreneur, go do this. But it's like you can't just go do stuff without the education and the knowledge. So
yeah,
I feel that. So how do you balance creating content, if you do, posting on social media, and networking?
Yeah, all those are super important. The first thing I do is I give myself grace and I allow myself to rest and take breaks.
Okay.
I create structure. I organize my ideas. I create the posts to go with my ideas. I mark them off my list. If it doesn't get done this week, maybe it'll get done next week. And I don't worry myself if it doesn't get done right then. So, and then also my broker, she has a content calendar, or we might have a challenge. Yeah, we might have a monthly challenge, and that really does motivate us to say, okay, to work in my business, these are the things I need to be doing. So I think I start with the ideas and really the objective. Am I going to educate? Is this just a fun lifestyle post? Like, what is the point of the post? And then I can work accordingly. So, and then with networking, I don't try to be everywhere, but I do try to hit some and support local charities or community events. Maybe once a week, maybe twice a month, whatever is allowed. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, do you post a lot? Because I know you're really sure. I'm like, do you usually post like the houses that you're selling, or like what do you kind of post as a realtor?
There's so much to post. I think it's important for people to see that you're working, whether that's behind the scenes or it's a closing or you just help the client get pre-approved. I think that's important, but also just lifestyle. We're people, we go out to concerts and community events and there are other things that are important, family, that are important that for people to see that you're doing, to get to know you as a real person as much as possible on social media. So, when it comes to real estate, I like to post everything. Is it inspection day? Is it closing day? Did we get pre-approved? Are we under contract? Did a problem come up that can, this information can help somebody else? I mean, there's so much.
All that.
Yeah, I like to find ideas and ways to share a lot of information so people can know. And,
How do you feel about share? Do you be doing closing gifts?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you show that?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I have before, especially if I'm like working with a new small local business.
You do commercial too?
No, I don't do commercial.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm working with a local business, like maybe they make treats.
Oh,
or something like that. Or they make custom, cutting boards or something like that. So sometimes the gifts can be from local folks.
Oh, okay.
And I'm supporting a local business while getting something for my clients. So maybe I could post I do post something like that. I have in the past.
Okay, that's because I tell you I used to live in Atlanta. But in general, like the closing, people be doing like closing gifts now. Whatever. I'm like, I don't know, growing up, people did closing gifts now. I don't know if it's just a new thing or whatever.
Some people don't.
Do. Yeah. So I was just wondering.
I think it's fun. I like gifts. And I like getting them. Yeah.
So on the second part, because you do work as well, 9 to 5. How do you balance working a job, doing your real estate, and then like you as a person, like I would say like self-care? Like how do you balance all that?
I'm very fortunate to have a flexible job.
Okay.
And then also I don't have any small children, so I think I can find ways and find time. I'll try to dedicate at least 1 to 2 days for myself. I don't know how I fit it in, but somehow I do fit it in. And if I need help, from a transaction coordinator or someone else. If I need somebody to show a house for me because I have dinner with my family, like I'm able to do that and use my resources to free up some time.
That's good. What's a transactional coordinator?
A transactional coordinator is somebody who basically handles a transaction. Let's say I'm helping a buyer buy a house. We're under contract. So from contract, once we get under contract to close, so they're helping through the inspection, the appraisal. They're taking care of the paperwork and making sure we stay on track and everything's handled. So, you know, I don't always use someone, but that does come in handy. Yeah.
Okay, so that's just using your resources and being able to be like, hey, can you show this house? Or I have this and like planning. So do you feel like you stick to like a I don't say strict schedule, but do you feel like you stick to a certain schedule like every day?
No.
Oh,
not at all.
I like a schedule. Like this day I show houses, this day I don't know, but that's what I was.
That.
Okay.
I try to be as available as I can to, especially to show houses, because you never know in this market. Something might be on the market today and it's gone tomorrow. It's already under contract. So I just try to, like I say, use my resources and try to be as available as I can. And I usually find that I can fit it in. Okay. You know, I'm not too bogged down that I can't fit something in. Whether it's me or someone else in my brokerage, that I'm like, hey, can you show this house for me? So I try to make time.
That's good. And you run your own social media. You don't have.
I do. Yeah, I run my own social media. Yes.
Love that. Yes. And so the last question in this segment is, what does success mean to you?
Okay. I'm trying to think of that Maya Angelou quote. She said, success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it.
Okay.
And I think that sums it up. I like what I do. I love what I do. I love helping people and the impact that it has on the community. And I like how I do it. But if there's something that needs adjusting, then I just adjust. Okay. If there's a better business practice, if I need to rest a little more this day, like whatever needs to happen, reflection is good. Having people around you that are supportive, that can maybe give you constructive criticism or have a new idea. I think it's just, definitely being at peace with yourself, waking up, liking what you do, going to bed knowing you did the best that you can. And that's good. Kind of enjoying what you do.
I love that. And so you said this is like your 5th year being a realtor?
6th year. I just celebrated 6 years in August.
Oh, August what?
August 17th.
Okay, so your business is a Leo.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, I thought it was fire, but anyway, I was gonna say, do you have like a 10-year goal? So you have 4 years. Like, do you have a goal that you're like working towards within like the next 4 years?
I do think within the next 4 years, I'll either be a co-broker of a brokerage or have my own. Okay. I've really had dreams of bringing my family in. So my sister is really great with property management. My brother's great. Maybe he could be an inspector. I know he's got his own business now. So maybe that's what would happen. Or maybe I have Rachel's Rest and Recovery Residence 3.
And you have 2 now?
I have 2. I have 2 locations now. So I think that's going to grow and get bigger. And I'm always looking for the next opportunity or the next building. There are so many traveling professionals that are coming here. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We're going to pause that really quick.
Yeah.
But we're going to go. You're not scared to have a business with your family? Are you scared to, could you say like family and business?
Right. I wouldn't say I'm scared. I think things need to be, hammered out and structured out, and we'll see. Okay,
I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, well, back to that's what you were speaking to. So that's your investment. So was that always a dream to have investment properties, or that just kind of?
I think that is the easiest way to build wealth. And my first year of selling real estate, I was always like going to classes or listening to speakers, and if I'm encouraging somebody to invest in real estate, whether it's their primary home or not, I want to also, participate in that practice. And so I think buying my first one, I was just like, okay, how can I have passive income? How can I really tap into real estate? There are so many avenues of real estate that you can take. And then I bought the second one, and I think that my fire is really growing for that side of things, is being an investor and being able to support my family and have that legacy. So, I might not pass down being a realtor to my daughter, but maybe a real estate investor. Like, there's just so many avenues that are out there. So.
And you do it for like travel and I know a lot of travel and nurses come around. I know nurses is top people that come
students.
Students.
Lots of students travel here.
Yeah.
Right now I have someone that is working in the research department at U of L. I
can't
remember what exact department, but there are a lot of opportunities for people to come to Louisville, and so they need that housing. So I'm glad that I can be a part of that.
Yes, that's what I need to be dreaming. I need to be dreaming of starting some real estate investment.
Let's go. Yes, let's go.
I need the money to do it though. But yeah, so that was the first segment. So that was really good. You have like a couple of different dreams, and I feel like that's important for people to also know too. It's like you don't just have to have. We're not Martin. You don't just have one dream.
Yeah.
So you can have multiple dreams and you can work on them as you're doing simultaneously. And you have a lot of different things. And I feel like it's okay to show that people. I feel like so many times it's like you got niche. And it's like, no, there's like multi-passionate people. There's different things that you do. Like you can have a 9-to-5. You can invest in real estate. You can do this. And all the time too, they talk about it too as like, just because unless you're retired, like people that are realtors, they sometimes do have another job. Like they're not all full-time realtors. Like some people are, but some people are not. So I think that that's also something cool to see too. People think that just like people do real estate for their full-time job. I know. I keep talking about Atlanta because that's what I know was in there. But like, they was doing YouTube. People, they was flight attendants. They was having like, so it's like, it's so many different things. Like, it's just like another basically income thing. It's not always just, I'm a realtor and that's all I do. So I really like that.
Yeah, I think whatever you do, just be, well educated and make sure you have systems in place where you're doing the best job. You don't want to have to do something. People they'll say, "Are you full time?" Yes, I am full time. I have other ventures, but I'm definitely working full time. Trust and believe. So yeah, I'm definitely fully invested.
Working full time in your like real estate business. I guess I was just saying like people. That's not all that they just do.
Gotcha.
It's just real estate because they do a lot of different things. So yeah. Well, that was that segment. Our next segment is just something fun. It's just a digital dilemma. Real quick, you're going to say, is it a myth or is it a reality? And it's about what we see about entrepreneurship on social media. So
myth or reality? Okay, got it.
You need social media to be an entrepreneur.
Ooh. That is so hard. I'm gonna say reality.
Okay. Online trolls is real. Like trolls online, like.
Maybe.
Not
for me.
Not for you. Don't have any trolls.
I don't think so.
So it might be a myth for you.
I'm gonna say a myth.
Yeah.
Okay, for me.
Following equals your success or how much money you have. So say like you have 100,000 followers, that means you have $100,000 in your bank account, or that means you're successful.
I'm gonna say myth.
Okay. You don't need a 9-to-5. Like entrepreneurs, they be like, you don't need a 9-to-5. Just work your business. Like,
ooh, okay, that depends on how well your business is going. If you're struggling and you need some income, then you need a 9-to-5. Yeah, don't need a 9-to-5. Yeah.
So that could be reality. That could be a myth then, because you might need a 9-to-5.
Yes.
So okay. Everyone is a 6-figure owner. They be like, I make 6 figures. I do. I
myth.
Okay. Yeah. You have to move to LA, Atlanta, or New York, or should I say Chicago to be like, to chase your dreams.
Myth.
Okay. Period. Okay, that was good.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So that was our little digital dilemma. I keep a little technology in there. So our last segment is our postcard segment. So basically, it's like you're writing something, but you're speaking it to the people who are listening and just leaving them with some positive, encouraging message. Okay.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone past just start about chasing their dreams?
All I would say is just try to be clear on what you want to do, and then find the information, find the resources, find your community, find your support, and find the people that are doing what you want to do and then connect with them. There are a lot of people out here, including myself, that are willing to educate and help and to, help others grow. So I think just like knowing what you want to do and then taking an interest in other people that are doing that or finding your own research.
Okay, that's really cool. Did you have a mentor or anything like that when you started, or you just kind of learned on your own?
I jumped in. However, when I started, once I was licensed and was with the brokerage, I'm going to bring up my broker again because we were both realtors at the same brokerage. And her and another group of women, we all came together and it was like we were there to support. She helped me write my first contract. Like being able to lean into other women that are doing or trying to do the same thing that I'm doing has been super important, super supportive, connecting with like-minded, business folks that, are where I want to be or just, might like what I'm doing and need some support from me, like being that for somebody else as well.
So being that, having that community, I feel like is really, really important.
Yes. Because being an entrepreneur or just being someone who's a professional, it can get lonely if you're not networking and connecting with other people. So just taking advantage of any time to do that, connecting yourself with the right people.
Yes. I love that. I definitely think community is important. And I feel like sometimes it's hard because entrepreneurship can be lonely. You're trying to figure this out. You're trying to do this. You gotta wear so many dang hats. You're like, child, the hats is tired. Okay. So, I'm just like, that's really cool. So that's why I wanted to ask you about that. Well, thanks for coming on the couch. I really appreciate it. Is there anything that you feel like we didn't talk about that you wanted to share with the people that maybe they should know, or something that we didn't get to, touch on?
I'll share my favorite quote.
Okay.
My favorite quote is from Toni Morrison.
Okay.
And it's, "You are your best thing." And that has really helped me invest in myself mentally, physically, spiritually, however I need to be the best person I can be. My mom always said there's always somebody better. There's always someone worse. Just be your best self. And I think investing in yourself is really, truly important. Making sure that you're good here first and then being able to kind of venture out and achieve your goals.
Okay, well, we love that. Yeah. We love a small town girl with bigger dreams. Well, thank y'all so much for listening to this, and I hope y'all enjoy the series because you're my last guest. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Tell them where they can follow you at. So
yes, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Your Realtor Rach, and then on Facebook you'll find me under Rachel C. Thomas, Kentucky and Indiana Realtor with the Collective Realty Co.
Okay, I was like, well, that's a lot to say. Do you say Kentuckiana to put Kentucky and Indiana together?
Yes.
Okay.
One of my taglines is fearlessly serving Kentuckiana. But yes, that's for Kentucky and Indiana.
I was wondering about that. Like, did she make that up? I don't know. But when you said Indiana, I was like, oh, okay. Well, yes. If you all love this series, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you comment, and support these dream chasers in the city if you're in Louisville or if you're not. But stay tuned because we definitely have another series coming up, and it's called Finding Your Voice Through Your Passion. So stay tuned for that series as well. And subscribe, follow us. We are every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we upload an episode on YouTube and on our podcast app, whichever app that you listen to. So I hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope to see you next week on the couch. Bye.